Did you notice our names are different on here now?
It looks like a different user interface.
Yeah, it looks slightly upgraded here.
Looks a little more new age, cleaner.
I don't know if I have control over that.
Well, I'm fine looking at you like this. In fact, I think I prefer this over whatever it was previously.
Yeah, it's fine. It was dark blue background. Now it's like graphite
Yeah,
with
I
a
like
more
it.
royal blue name banner. Would you call that?
Yeah, I would say
Anyway,
so.
people don't see us anymore, but
Yeah.
we see each other, and I like this.
I feel like we're still due to like get caught up a bit more because we hadn't chatted a whole lot in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because our recent episode was with a guest and then you were out. So I still feel like we got catching up to do.
Yeah, life for me is going to calm down a bit now. Karting's done. It was the
Oh,
big grand finale. We had 4 or 5 straight weeks of karting. 3 of them were double weekends, which is always tougher on me. And then one of them was 5 days. That was the North American Championship. So it was just a lot of time spent doing that, unfortunately. But now I'm done. Season came to a conclusion and off season begins.
and just real quick, how did it go for Braden? Just I'm
It was bad.
interested. Oh no.
There's a bad end to the season.
Oh no.
So he got his first win, promptly headed down to Indiana after that, and just ran into a wall of problems down there.
Like mechanical problems?
Almost none of it was us.
Okay.
Last year, I think you probably recall a little bit. Last year, we wrecked out of 2 of the races and finished dead last in one, all due to crashes.
Yeah.
And then in the final,
Wasn't it rainy that previous year too or
it didn't
something?
rain actually.
Okay.
Got real cold right before the feature. But then the feature, he ran a clean race and moved up from like 34th to 17th and was the highest finishing rookie there and had like it salvaged the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But we had no crashes and no tangible success and no salvage of the weekend. It just ended as bad as it started.
He raced poorly.
That's the interesting thing about this is he left devastated and I left frustrated for him, but really, really impressed with his driving. He drove great. I don't know if he made more than maybe one error the entire week of race. We're out there on track for 5 days. And I think I noticed one mistake where I thought, yeah, that could have been avoided. Everything else was just happenstance. For example, there's this thing, it's called getting red flagged. If there's a medical reason to stop a race, like in ours, it's generally a cart flips, which at these championships where you have 30 to 50 carts on track who all think they can go top 10, people tend to flip because the open wheels touch each other, spinning very, very fast, and it just causes chaos. So in two of his 3 heat races, kids flipped. And when someone flips, they stop the race, they red flag it, and then they restart it in single file order, usually based on the last timing checkpoint. They just roll halfway around and then start the race up in single file. So if there were gaps that you had developed, that goes away. But any carts involved in the red flag event, involved at all, if they're able to continue physically, have to start in last.
Mm.
And so both times there was a flip, he was adjacent to it. Like one time the cart flipped over and almost hit him, and he moved off into the grass to avoid it. But then the video showed him in the grass with the cart at the same time. So he wasn't involved in it, but he was technically part of it. So like he went from like 15th to 38th because of the restart.
That
That
happened
kind of
twice.
thing. That
Oh,
happened twice.
yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. So restarts with him in the back, losing all the spots he had made up or never like were back there in the first place, suddenly just like penalized for someone else's mistake. He, after that, his next race drove this phenomenal race and was moving towards the top 10, and a kid just spun him out, spun into the infield. And by the time he got his cart started and going again, he was the last cart on track. And there's only 2 laps to go, so there's no time to undo it. So he was moving towards a clump of 10th through 14th. We're in one pack, and he was passing 15th to get up to that pack and wound up back in like 39th or something. So like that
Know
kind
what
of
that
stuff just kept happening.
know what that reminds me of? I'm going to bring this full circle to the running community.
Okay.
More specifically, the OCR community. is how well your fitness is in OCR
Right.
very often doesn't show on the results because of a mistake somewhere. And it's like, no, I actually could have won, but I know I'm eighth on the results, but like I just missed my spear or I fell
Right.
off of something. And so it never tells the story. And I feel like that's a frustrating thing in racing
Yeah.
with the out of, although these are uncontrollables in some cases.
Yeah.
It's just like maybe he was a top 10 racer, really, if everything went fair, but he fell off the rig and he did some burpees. And here it is on the results.
That's really how it was. And I don't
Yeah.
know where he would have finished, but the first time he got sent back, it took him out of the ability to be in a clean situation. The people who run near the top 10 have a different experience than those who run mid
Right.
pack, because the mid pack is just full of people desperately trying to get out of the mid pack, but everyone's good there.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're stuck. It's like just getting caught in the chop. So it was really frustrating for him, but he was so much better than last year that it wasn't even close. Like they have this big long straightaway on this track, and last year he would just pass one cart every time they got to the straightaway because his engine was good and he was dialed and he could get good momentum going onto it. And this year he did all his work in the infield.
Mm.
Like every single race, he had more infield overtakes, which are technical moves that you're actually like doing rather than just getting a draft and going around someone. Every single race he ran, he had more there than all last year combined at this event. So he did so much well and nothing to show for it. So then in this will just be the last piece of that. In the feature race, then the final on Sunday before we came home, as they're forming up to get ready for the green flag to drop, a kid drilled his cart from behind. Like came in too hot as they're forming up, and it pushed him forward and wedged his bumper under the bumper of the cart in front of him. And everyone runs plastic bumpers, and the kid in front had a metal rear bumper, and it wedged his plastic bumper under it. And when that cart shot forward, it pulled his bumper off. So it was hanging on, dragging down on the ground and hitting his wheel, and the race started. So he spent 25 minutes with his bumper dragging on the front. So he would like drive his way around people through the infield and then get to this long home stretch and just be scrubbing speed against the ground, and they'd all go past him.
Oh.
So he made like 13 overtakes or something like that and finished where he started because they'd all repass him every lap, every kid he got around. So like, again, he drove a phenomenal race on a crippled cart, but got 0 positions to show for it.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm feeling frustrated.
So it was a long drive home.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and then we'll get to running here. Is I have, I think, well, I don't know if the listeners know this, but I do train a professional race car driver, like in the gym. We work together once or twice a week. Aaron T-Litz, he drives for Lexus. Anyways, and I think Braden has one of his gloves now. I think I gave that
2
to
of
you,
them.
right? 2 of his gloves. I'm
Yeah.
going to see if Aaron wants to have a little chat with Braden.
Okay.
I'll see if would Braden like that if I had Aaron.
He would love it.
Call
We
him.
looked his car up right away and looked his stuff up, and he's like,
Okay.
he drives GT3 for Lexus, and that was awesome.
Yeah. All right, I'll talk to Aaron when I see him. All right, guys, we have some exciting news for you. At least I find this news exciting, so I wanted to share this with. We have a new partnership with Mud Gear. Mud Gear, Brakken, was my original love in the OCR space, and to have a Mud Gear sponsorship as an athlete was highly sought after and about as good as it gets. Do you remember those days?
Oh yeah, I had a deal with Mud Gear back in the day.
So did I. It was like you've made it if you had a deal with Mud Gear.
Yeah.
So we decided to partner with Mud Gear. You can call it a sponsorship. You can call it whatever you want, but we are going to make customized Running Public socks available to you guys at a discount on a landing page with Mud Gear. So it is in the works. It'll probably be live next week. It's going to be Mud Gear /TRP. And their socks are awesome. And so you're going to be able to buy TRP socks and swag through the Mud Gear website.
I want to say we've only ever promoted, like when we talk about our best of episodes or gear recommendations, 3 brands of socks ever. We've had Swiftwick, which is our thin sock of choice.
Mm-hmm.
We have Injinji over the calf socks, which are my travel sock of choice, and Mud Gear, which is my winter and trail running and compression sock of choice. So from the beginning, I think we've only mentioned, you may have one time been on a different brand for a little bit.
Briefly, but I haven't purchased any of them
Yeah.
in years.
We've tried others, maybe mentioned them, but there's really only 3 we've ever given glowing reviews to, and Mudgear's one of them from the start. And they were a brand I was not sure about early on because they're thicker. At least they're over the calf socks and the trail socks are, and I was always super sensitive to that. I liked thin socks, but I still have a drawer of Mudgear socks from 2014.
Yeah, I have over a dozen pairs that are like, I mean, I've worn them dozens or hundreds of times and they still are
Yeah.
like brand new.
So at
No
this point,
holes
I
for
can't even like say anything other than they work and they're going to for like a decade.
Yeah, great. And in fact, I think the newer socks, so they're a bit thinner, more breathable too. So they're a bit moisture wicking. I think durability's always led the way with Mudgear. So like the socks last forever. Like even some of the Swiftwicks I bought, which I hate to say,
They've gone
like
downhill.
they've at the seams and stuff. I've had a few of them go on me and then holes happen. I've never had that with Mudgear. But anyways, we're a big fan of their socks. I own about a dozen pairs. And you're going to be able to get custom Mudgear socks on their landing page. So you'll have to check that out. And there will be a discount using most likely the code TRP on all their stuff. So check that out. We will let you know when that is live.
Absolutely. And
And
this is, go ahead.
Well, I have one call to action for the listeners. So I want you to shoot us a message because I'm designing the socks now. What sock you'd be most interested in? Like a no-show, like a quarter, just with like the 2-inch sort of ankle, or higher, like a crew sock. What socks are you guys most interested in? Just shoot us a message, or maybe we'll put a poll on our Instagram. But would be curious because we're probably going to design 1 or 2, but probably not all 4. Like not a full calf sleeve or anything. So
Right.
just curious there.
Yeah. And it's interesting that this is coming back up now because Jack Bauer followed our recommendations for thin running socks, which were Swiftwick, and they drained well and they held up forever. And he's had the same experience that we've had recently. He ripped 2 Swiftwick socks on our trip together to the Middle East.
What?
Yeah.
Where are they ripping on him?
In the toe area.
Hmm.
Like toenail, big toenail. That never used to happen. So I've been thinking more and more that Swiftwick is like, I still use their crew socks, but they have changed their materials. Absolutely, they've changed them. And I can't say it's for the better. So I'm excited that Mudgear's here keeping the game strong with durability.
Oh yeah. I'm still gonna wear my Swiftwicks. I'm still gonna wear my Mudgear. All right. Topic today. You ready to jump into it?
Right in.
All right. Well, I had not a revelation, but I decided to take advantage. I don't know about the rest of the country. I'm assuming it's the same, and our weather's been about the same as yours, I would assume.
Yeah.
We've had like an Indian summer, I think they call it. It's probably not politically correct anymore, but like meaning like the summer drug on all the way through September. We had 90 degrees here last week. Did you guys have the same?
Almost. Yeah. We were like, 90, 91, I think, last weekend of racing.
Yeah. And so like the fall hadn't really arrived. And what it did was be like, okay, well, I can't wait for the fall to get here. So running feels better and metrics come around. But 2, like it forced me into like heat training for like an additional 2 to 4 weeks. And the temperatures broke yesterday being Monday. And I was like, you know what? Like, if there's ever a time I haven't even been training for the 5K, like specifically, that I just did a few sessions recently that might be 5K. I said, I'm going to time trial because it's 30 degrees cooler than it's been. And that's a good start. And you want to know what happened, Brakken? I set my adult life PR, solo time trialing on the roads myself this morning and ran 15:15.
Oh, there's nothing better than a time trial going better than expected.
I thought it was possible after a workout last week. And so I said, I'm running 4:55s. And if the wheels fall off, I don't care. And I did it. I literally ran that almost verbatim. It wasn't perfect, but yeah, it was pretty satisfying. And it was also very painful.
They are. They either get really bad and you crack, or they get really bad and you stay strong and they get worse. There's no easy way through a time trial, but there's just not a better feeling during training, I believe, than being rewarded for going out for a time trial and staying tough during it. It's the most satisfying training feeling I think that exists.
Yeah, it's hard to beat, and it's not nearly as glorious or sexy as it sounds in the middle of it, to be honest.
It's the worst. It's all the bad aspects of a race with none of the good aspects.
Until it's done and you look down, and if it goes well, and you're like, I just did that
Yeah.
on my own. And so I guess, well, so my time trial doesn't really matter. I'm very happy. I haven't run that fast in my adult life post collegiately. Um, but it made me think like fall is PR season and fall should be racing and time trial season for anybody chasing times or metrics because you have these superpower folks of heat acclimation and training through the sludge, and that is legal cheating. And I'll tell you how I know that because I looked at my heart rate data from this effort and I looked at what even some of my workouts did to me in 80, 90 degrees. And I think it bought me 5 less minutes of seeing red because
Yeah.
my heart rate just stayed subdued a little longer before I got to that tipping point. And I was like, I think just physiologically, yes, mentally I was engaged, but I had an extra card in my deck this time. And that was heart rate just staying a little more subdued than it had been used to. And I think it's a powerful thing. And I think even if it's impromptu, jumping in a race or time trialing, I think is a really good time of year to do that.
It is. And we didn't plan this episode, but we just recently in our Training Peaks programs had everyone time trial.
Mm-hmm.
And today I took my bike mechanics class out biking, and we went to the local park, which happens to also be the cross country course for my alma mater. And it was freshly painted lines out there. And I thought I should really get a baseline 5K in. And then I get back here and Kirk Strava is lighting up that he's just popping 5K time trials today. So it's just, this is the right time of year to talk about it.
Yeah. Although I'm kind of annoyed at myself. So I set 5K on my Garmin and uploaded it with no warm up or cool down. Like, just like that's what I'm doing. So I pull up the 5K, it counts down from 3.12 all the way down. But I didn't know the stupid thing. Like, after I hit the 5K, it just keeps running. Like, so my Strava says 15:29. So I look down, I'm like, that mother effer's still running as I'm catching my breath. So I finally pause it. So my Strava shows 15:29 and 3.13 or 4 or whatever, like further. And I'm so annoyed with that because I figured it would have just stopped once I hit the 5K.
Now this is not why particularly, but I always leave an open warm up cool down on any of these things so that I don't accidentally screw it up when I first press go or whatever. It gives me wiggle room for my mistake. I didn't realize it could do that as well.
Well, I selected no warm up and no cool down. I
Right.
deleted those portions. So I just figured it's over, right? I did my thing. It's over.
I would have
Well,
assumed that too.
yeah. So I had freaking seconds tacked onto there. So I look like a fraud.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Well, this is that time of year, and everybody is in one of three boats right now. It's either I'm finally feeling good and my race is approaching, or I'm finally feeling good, but I have nothing on the horizon, or I need an off season. Those are the only three places people are right now. I mean, there could be people who aren't feeling good because they haven't been consistently training, but of all the people who trained all summer, those are the only three places you can be. Suddenly I'm feeling good again. And it's either I need to race, I have a race, or all that work caught up to me and I need an off season. So if you are one of the first two, you have a race, great. If you don't have a race, this is the time to pick something and test it out.
Yeah, or I would argue if you're even in the burnt camp, but you're getting like the temps are cooling, I would argue, you know what, one last swing and then just see what you've got.
Yeah.
See if the superpowers of the lower temps help you, and then take a break before you.
Or take your 2 weeks, come back, train for a week, and then pop one. But either way, I agree. I agree that there is power to that. In it generally, this time of year goes better than you expect. And if you're in that camp where you're like, I'm not sharp for anything, maybe I just took my 2 weeks down or whatever, go do a long run time trial. Like find a little FKT, find a trail segment, a long trail if you want to, and just go run hard on it and feel good about feeling good while working hard.
Yeah, and I think you're, like in my case, and I think others, like maybe some people's seasons have winded down and they haven't been training as with purpose, but they're still putting their running shoes on pretty regularly. Like I think that's a big camp of people. And I know
Yep.
there's a big camp that still have races that are coming up. Like there's a big marathon push here in the fall, and people are running Chicago and CIM and other fall turkey trots and monster dashes, and you get the point. Um, but what I'm getting at is I was training with purpose and I always do, right? But I really didn't allow myself to do much spice until the last like 3, 4 weeks. And suddenly I got myself into PR 5K shape. And so even if you're in that camp where you're like, yeah, I've been kind of haphazard the last month with my training, but I'm still doing stuff, you could be 3 weeks away of like
Yeah.
focus again from like maybe running really well and taking advantage of the fall. So like I don't think just because you don't feel like you're in your best shape as you're listening to this doesn't mean I don't think you can PR in 3 to 6 weeks from now on something.
Well, it's a great way to test out a race sharpening strategy without potentially ruining a race. So you did something different recently, right? You went and backed away a little bit on workouts, added a little bit of volume to some of them, but you did this more of a threshold training block
Hmm.
and you followed that all the way through. And then you ran a few workouts because you were craving it. And then you got a time trial and find out like, oh my goodness, this came around quicker than I thought it would have. And now you have that data moving forward to the next time you want it to be there. And for someone who's like, I've been training fine, or I did this training block for an ultra or for a marathon or whatever, but how long would it take to sharpen up and what would I get out of it? Now's the time. You're going to feel better running now than you have all summer because the temperature's good. So go feel good for 2 or 3 weeks, hit some fun, fast workouts, and then test it out and see what and it doesn't have to be a time trial, right? Like you could jump into a turkey trot or whatever it's going to be, but now is a good time to practice just a mini little prep block and see what does it do on top of what I built this year.
I think we should actually break that down.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'll break anything down, Kirk.
You'll dissect the crap out of anything. Well,
Anything.
why don't we talk about the camp? Let's talk about the 3 camps you mentioned. Let's talk about the camp who is looking for a bang or an end to their season. They're feeling pretty good. What maybe they have a race on the calendar, maybe they don't. But like they're in like a hey, like got the fall feels like I'm ready to like take advantage of this temp. Like they're available. What would you recommend for that person?
I think that they should just choose the thing that excites them the most right now, either from a race like stimulus standpoint or from a what have I not done in a while and I've been meaning to, and just go rip it. Just see what happens. Because it's early enough in fall that you still have time to sharpen after if you want to. But you think you're fit, go see. I think you just sign up for something or pick a workout or a time trial or a FKT and you just do it without even really thinking about it.
Yeah. How far do you need to plan, do you think, for that?
3 days
I decided
max.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So a day out when I saw the temps. Yeah.
If you're feeling good, you're feeling good.
Yeah. And I don't even think this is the thing is I don't think you need to like even treat this attempt or this race like a real race, or if you're going to time trial, like you could just plug it into one of your hard days, or instead of my Saturday long run, I'm going to train this week like normal and just go rip on Saturday. I see there's a race, a 10K, and I don't have a 10K time on my resume I'm happy with. And just go jump in it as like a regular part of your training. It takes the pressure off. The superpowers of cooler temps may help you out. It's what I did. I run full training weeks and it was still there, I think, because of the temperature.
Yeah. And you're in good shape in this camp. You've been training. You can handle just about anything right now. So, yeah, take a day to go a little easier and then go rip. Again, I don't think there's a consequence to this, assuming you stay injury free during it, because if you want to change anything after, you can. This wasn't on the calendar. You're adding something on, you get a data point, and then do what you want with it.
And I also don't think that you need to have been even running, let's say, intended or goal race pace in
Nope.
order to go out and end up running a race that's faster than you've even been training, for example. Meaning like, hey, you know what? I've been running a lot of like threshold stuff or whatever. But like, I am curious about my 5K and I know I'm fit. I just don't know where it's going to land me in a 5K. Like, it's the perfect time to go out and surprise yourself. I think I touched 5K pace or faster only a few times in the last 3 weeks, and I hadn't before that. And suddenly it's there. And so I think
Yeah.
even racing down to a pace in which maybe you're enjoying your slogs on the trails, but you're feeling pretty good doing it right now or something, like you might surprise yourself. Yes, it might hurt, but it might hurt en route to something that you're proud of.
Yeah. Most likely, if you had a good summer of training, this is going to be a hurt you can tolerate. You're just going to tolerate it better. People oftentimes think that PRing in a race or a time trial is about feeling great and just having this level of fitness you've never felt before. It's usually more about just tolerating it better. You may not feel particularly faster, and you might, but it just may not be breaking you down like it has in the past. That's generally how these kind of races go. They still hurt. You just tolerate it, and then you find like, oh, there's a mile to go. I think I can lean into it a little bit rather than this pain's really bad and I need to back away. It's I'm doing okay with this kind of hurt.
You know what else it's a good time to do? Uh, Maybe more so in a race than in a time trial, but it could be in a time trial, is take risks.
I was going to say the opposite.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the time to set yourself up for success by starting with what you really believe is like high end of very, very possible. And you're saying go send it.
Well, my exam, I mean, I haven't run a 5K since last August, so it's been 13 months, a
Yeah.
complete shot in the dark. And I said, I'm going to try to run 15:15, and that requires me to start in 4:55. And I can't slow play this if I want to. So I did. And I held it. And
Okay.
so, like, just committing out of the gates and giving yourself a chance. Maybe is that called a risk? I don't know.
I guess I assumed you meant like go out hot and see what happens.
I meant ride the line from the gun,
Got it.
if you know what your line is.
Yeah.
And then
You
maybe,
had
just
you
maybe,
had a marker that made you think this could be done.
yeah. And then maybe, just maybe, because things are a little cooler than they have been, hopefully where you're at, it gets bad, but not so bad you can't hold on the last, whatever it is, the back third of whatever race you choose. And you can actually sit in it instead of boil over. And that's where breakthroughs happen.
Yeah.
And so that's just my opinion. And in fact, 4:55, 4:58, and I close in 4:52, knowing like, oh my God, it's like my body's still functioning. I hate every second of this, but like it's there today. And if it were 80 degrees, it wouldn't have. I know it wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It would have been the opposite. And that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. You're exactly right on that. And because, like I said earlier, there's no risk here. This wasn't like your penultimate thing you were going to do this year. This wasn't your ultimate race. This wasn't your A race. This is just something you're going to use to before your A race or because you're just sitting there like, I got to do something. There's no consequence to it. If it goes really poorly, then you just don't go out that hot in your go race or you're running a different distance. It's not going to like, it won't carry over negatively. It can only help you.
Yeah, you're listening to this right now. You're driving home from work. You know you have a workout tonight. Frickin' put on the racers and time trial. I'm telling you, like, it can be that last minute. You inspired, temperatures look good, wind is down. Frickin' go.
Well, this is an interesting time of year because we're getting these cold spells in pockets around the country, but the leaves haven't dropped yet for the most part. So
Really
if you have
chill.
trail aspirations of something you've been wanting to hit, this is the sweet spot. The bugs aren't bad. The leaves have not obscured the trail yet, but you got good temperatures to go after it. So now is a good time to do a trail-based assault as well.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. The leaf litter makes, like, if you're looking for your own personal best on assist, it's almost impossible when leaves are bad.
There's a technical trail I want to hit here, and there's only a few seasons a year I can do it because of ground cover or how soupy it gets or how nasty the humidity and bugs get. Like there are a few, it's just the bridge seasons you can do it. And right now is that, I mean, it's unfortunate I'm not in better shape because right now, like this weekend is the time to do it.
Yeah, and I don't think this is limiting to, let's say, short races or time trials like a 5K or 10K. I had an athlete, I'm going to give him a shout out over in Vienna, Austria, Robert. Robert went out and just ran a 60K for no reason on his own because just to see if he could and what he had in him. And know what we found out? His overspeed training translates to staving off the bonk until like the last few miles of the effort because in no way was he prepared to do it, but he had an itch he wanted to scratch. Let's say you're curious about, well, I've never run a marathon. I'm not saying to go time trial a marathon, but I'm not saying not to go do something crazy like that in a time of year in which is getting better. And so I don't think there's a limit to this, meaning like, I want to go run my age in miles or kilometers, or I want to go like, now's the time to strike at something you want to chase.
Yeah.
So I think it could be long as well, is what I'm
I'll
saying.
follow that up. I got a message from a woman, Alicia, that I work with that said, "Well, my weather window got narrowed down to tomorrow. Wish me luck. Just
What does that
decided
mean?
I'm doing it tomorrow." Got a
Heck yeah.
message got a message afterwards. "Well, I did it. Got 41.2 miles in the mountains. Was the perfect day."
So randomly, she wanted to go just see what she could do in the mountains.
Yeah, there's this traverse she's been eyeing up in her area that she wanted to go do in the high mountains, and suddenly the weather changed and she said, "Hey, I think next week this thing's going to happen." And then one day she said, "Looks like it's tomorrow." I just decided tomorrow's the weather window. It looks perfect. Let's try it. It was a self-supported 42-mile day.
That's
That is not a
amazing.
5K time trial, but it's every bit as challenging, if not more so.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Or like, not to call a couple people out, but I guess I won't use their names, but we had a brutal weekend here for the Twin Cities 10 mile, the Twin Cities half, and the Twin Cities full. The heat was still in. It was like 20-mile-an-hour winds and 80 degrees, like the worst,
Uh-huh.
humid. And then the cold front came in the day after. I saw Alec Blennis basically pulled the plug like 5 miles in. He's like, nope, not today. Planning to run the marathon.
Yeah.
An athlete I coached, Darla. Darla, you've been a guest on our podcast twice. Shout out. Didn't have a great day in the Twin Cities 10 mile coming back from knee surgery. None of that. But point being is some of us have got bad weather draws. I felt like that on the marathon day that in June at Grandma's for me, on top
Yeah.
of injury. But nonetheless, you get these bum fall draws. Like I pick a fall race because it's guaranteed cool temps, and then this summer hangs on, and it's a bad day to go run fast. Well, guess what, Darla or Alec? Like next week it might be great. You might want to put on your racers again and go pick another race, or just do it on your own and say, I'm better than that. I'm going to do it now under my terms and conditions that are good for running fast. So I think there's like a whole scope of people like that too.
Yeah, I agree with that. And weather is an excuse, but it's also a valid one. Like there are charts that show, and there's calculations that show how much slower you get every 5 to 10 degrees over the course of a marathon. Like it's valid. It's a real thing. It's not an excuse for why you're not in shape, but if you are in shape and you have bad weather, now you have good weather, like go use it. And Alicia went crazy. 40 miles in the mountains. That's crazy. And that's awesome. That's a celebration of training and fitness. And your athlete who ran, how long was it?
60K.
60K. Like that's solo.
37 miles. Yeah.
Like that is,
I think he had some people joining at times, but this was his thing. Yeah.
That's a celebration of all the work you've put in. Like there's a reason to do these kind of things, and the time is now.
I just pulled up. So 5K on the track I did last summer in August.
Yeah.
In warmer temperatures. Granted, it was 9:17 at night, which isn't, I'm in bed usually by then, but point being, I ran 15:26 in a track race. So close, 11 seconds slower. Average heart rate 184 for the effort. That's really high for me for a 5K to sustain that. It was pretty painful, and my max heart rate was 194. So I averaged 184 and I maxed at 194. What do you think my average was for today in much more reasonable temperatures?
If I had to guess, I'd say 178.
Yeah, see, you're a pretty smart man, Brakken. My average heart rate today, running 11 seconds faster, 177. So I was 7 beats per minute lower, and my max was, 191, so 3 beats a minute lower. So on paper, this was an easier effort for me.
Yeah.
Although it was faster. And I honestly think that is the power of weather. And I'm in good shape too, so I'm not negating my hard work. But what I'm saying is, like, it matters a lot. A 7-second discrepancy in average heart rate is the difference between fading home or kicking home. And so it matters.
That's getting to mile 2 with options versus a life raft.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So, I mean, your data sums it up perfectly. Now, is your fitness different? Maybe, but you were prepped for that 5K.
Yeah.
So the fact is that with cooler weather comes better racing.
I mean, I was on the roads of my Alpha Flies, and that is my happy place. So maybe that's just what it is,
Yeah, but you weren't in a pack of people all trying to run the same pace as you.
No, I was not. All right. So you're the crowd. Let's go the opposite end of the spectrum. Then you're the crowd who's kind of toast. You're like, there's the people who are in the burnt out phase. I have two people I'm thinking of in particular. They're basically not even following a training plan. They're running less mileage. They're toast ish. What do you say to them? Like, are we trying to push them off the ledge here? Or do we just let them be?
I think if you're mentally toast, go pick the most exciting thing you can do and just run it hard. Get one send off into fall. And if you're physically toast, take your off season, take your 2 weeks down or whatever it's going to be, come back and then do it as a reminder that this wasn't a wasted training block. Like it broke you, yes, but it also did a lot good for you. And now that you've uncovered that under all the fatigue that had built up, here's what's left waiting. And you're better than you thought you were.
So you're suggesting, like, let's just say you take the I'm toast. I'm gonna allow myself to be toast and take a week or two, and then maybe I just start running for 3 to 4 weeks and I try to rip something and still take advantage. I'll still have fitness.
I might even run 3 to 4 days and then go do something.
Have you ever done that? Actually,
I used to kick off my training blocks with 5K time trials back in the day.
but like a race that mattered, for example. Have you
No,
ever done
no,
that?
no. And I wouldn't suggest that. Maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, you could. But on that first week or two, knocking the rust off after 10 to 14 days down, I think you can go run a long run time trial. I do. 5K would be miserable. I've done it. It's miserable. It's a good baseline. But within a week or two, you can race just about whatever you want after 10 to 14 days off.
Yeah. What are those 5K time trials showing when you've jumped into them right away? Like,
It shows what's left that you built. That's what it was for me. It showed me where is my fitness right now? What did this past season really give to me? Yeah, I took a little bit of time away, but where do I really reside right now? And if you've been burnt for a while, you just feel like your fitness is trash. And as soon as you refresh it, and now the weather drops as well, it's going to go better than you thought it would go. It's going to say you're not as bad as you felt. And I think that's important.
it also is a really good jump start to just like getting back to it. You'd be surprised. Like if you rip the Band-Aid off with an effort like that in the first week back to running, like 2 weeks later, you're starting to like click and you're like,
Yeah.
like my body's already like adapted to that sort of effort. And I'm feeling pretty good. I think if you're ramping back up, always like we had championship Spartan season, like end of September. So like right now would be sort of our break generally if we were training to the world champs. And then I would get back to training for about 4 weeks after my break. And like, it's already PR potential season if you get right back to work. Like you could be burnt, take your time, return to training for even 4 weeks. And I think you could run a life best, granted the year had gone well on training and you get back to work. Like you could do it right away.
Especially if you were training for something multi-hour with hills, trails. If you're doing something sharp that burnt you, it's going to take a little bit. But if you were prepping for an hour, 2, 3 hours of mountains or trails or road, you take a few weeks off, train for a few weeks, you can get sharp. You don't want to get sharp, but you can get competent really quickly because you built such staying power. Now you just sprinkle a little spice on top of that and you will feel good. You'll be able to run quick.
It's just like if you live in the great white north, I don't know about you, but there's like this impending doom as
You know
well.
winter's coming,
Winter is coming.
right?
Exactly.
You
And
know
it's
it.
like
So what's 3 to 4 weeks of sharpening if you know you're going to take an off season anyway?
and winter is generally full of more low and slow or slogs. You're bundled up. It's harder to feel fast and turn over outside. And I know we just got done complaining about the heat and we're going to be complaining about the cold in 3 months from now, anyways, maybe two. It's like just have the foresight to know, like, if you're in a lull right now, like, and you live in the north, like, winter's going to take some tenacity and you're not going to be in love with it. So try to appreciate the conditions we have now, no matter where you're at in your running
Yeah.
season and how you're feeling about it and use it. It's a rare sweet spot. And I know you guys in the South have all winter and it's going to be glorious for you. Right.
Yep.
And so it's a different case down there. But for up here, what the northern third of the country, the Northeast, the North, like now's the time. It's the
It
time,
really
man.
is. And if you're overseas, it's going to get rainy. It's going to get nasty. So, our
Just generally
kids,
overseas, it's going to get rainy. It's just like
Europe in
just,
general, like it's going to get either snow or rain. It's one of the two.
it's going to rain if you're overseas. All right, forecast, Bracken.
That's not any worse than most of the weather reports I read on my phone daily.
That is true.
So my oldest is now 13, then we have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they're getting to the age that they're kind of able to watch the movies we grew up on or that we liked. So I'm starting to like rewatch movies myself to see are they ready for this, and then we'll
Mhm.
watch it if I deem yes. And so I just watched Batman Begins with Christian Bale. That kicked off
Okay.
his run as Batman. Because I feel like Batman is like required viewing for American children.
Sure. I've only seen
So
it once. Like I watched that once and I hardly remember it. It's a while ago.
okay, well I remember it fonder than you do.
Okay.
But there's this scene in it where the house is burning down and a big stud collapses on Bruce Wayne. And his butler comes up and says something to the effect of, "What's the point of doing all those push-ups if you can't push yourself off the ground here?" And like that's what fall is. What's the point of going through all those weeks and months of heat training if you're not going to go use it right now? Like take a few extra weeks, do something to get ready for something big, and go use it. We're not pro athletes generally listening to this podcast. It's not going to impact your perfect like peak season. You don't have world championships for most of you waiting or just finishing. Like you got winter coming. What's the point of all those miles in the heat, in the misery, if now that you can feel good, you don't use it? Go use it. Go push yourself off the ground and rip.
Impending doom is heading your way, folks.
It is. I love winter training, but I'm not doing a whole lot of time trialing or ripping during winter.
It's rare you're going to set life best in unreal terrain in winter. And I know a whole sector of our population doesn't even care really, and that's fine. Then this episode might not be for you. But hey, you could still go out and do something epic and adventure and experience oriented while not sweating through 5 layers of clothes and enjoying it more, right? Like there's still
Yeah.
that still makes sense. Your 41-mile Alicia,
Yeah.
for example.
Well, and you don't want to be that person who dies with millions of dollars having spent and enjoyed none of it.
That's a good point.
Like you worked hard for this. Enjoy it from time to don't spend it all. Like don't be foolish, but you've earned it. Live a
You're gonna
little.
you're gonna run out of time before you're gonna run out of money, folks. Spend it.
Hopefully.
I mean, it
But
should
you're
go
gonna
that
run out of weather here before you run out of fitness, most likely. You've got the fitness, you've got the weather, use it.
way. I wonder if people are like rolling their eyes at us now. Now we're getting preachy. We're like, you get out there,
Yeah.
treat yourself. But I really believe that. I'm riding a little bit of a high. So I have my rose tinted glasses on right now. So there's a little bit of that. But I still think even if you're not riding a high and you're not in love with your training, I've been going through the motions, Bracken. People that know, I've talked about it before. I don't need to hound on it, but like I'm like out in the woods deer hunting. I'm running moderate mileage. I actually emotionally am not very invested in my running at all. I don't think about my training right now. I don't like lay up being like, what can I scheme and how can I get extra seconds off of my
Mhm.
5K or marathon? I'm literally emotionally enjoying something else more than running right now. That is 100% the truth. Yet I still went out and have no, like, I don't, it didn't matter if it went well or not. And I don't really care even right now. I'm like, it's going to be great. I'm going out in the woods tomorrow afternoon anyways. I'll be
Right.
having a great time. So what I'm getting at is even if you're not that emotionally invested in your fitness right now, like I'm going to ride high from this now because I just did it because like it can be okay just to do it because
Yeah.
you should.
Well, and you've felt what the potential benefit is. And you know that if this is an option for people out there, you don't want them to miss out on this feeling. It's a great feeling to find out you have as much or more fitness than you thought. Everyone should be able to feel that as a runner.
Yeah. So what about you then, Bracken?
Well, I'm in the scheming stage, Kirk.
Tell me more.
I have 6 weeks until a race. I'm trying to wring fitness out of myself here. I need to get, I'm 3 weeks away from getting race specific. I'm
You're 6 weeks out already?
from a doubles race. Yeah.
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 Wait, isn't that 5 weeks? Where are you racing?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, not Chicago.
It's 7 weeks, but 6 weeks of training,
Okay, got
I
it.
believe. So like I'm always feeling behind the eight ball these days. So I'm in the what can I wring out of my body this week? Where can I fit in another workout? What can I do? Like I'm in no position to actually time trial this week. And yet for a doubles race, a 5K time trial is going to help.
I mean, you're gonna want to feel sting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and also a 2K erg, both ski and row is going to happen too.
I mean, it always, whether you're a hybrid athlete, which we have a whole sector of listeners that are hybrid, and we both coach hybrid athletes, OCR. Running is still the prom queen here when it comes to all this. Like, it is still the centerpiece.
Yep.
Just because you're a hybrid athlete doesn't mean you shouldn't get dialed in on what your, let's say, 5K is, or what you should be running your 1,000-meter splits in, or anything like that. So running is still king or queen, however you want to look at it, through and through. You can't argue against that.
But that being said, every fall, the trails and mountains call to me. All summer, like, they're cool and everything, but they don't. I'm not craving something long when it's 95 degrees and humid. But the moment it drops down a little bit, it's like, I can't shake that call. I still want to go out here and go back to Lapham or go to LaGrange and try to rip my 9-mile time trial, which I lost the FKT on. I've lost like 4 or 5 crowns in the last 6 weeks.
Yikes, that's sad.
Two guys ran the 9-mile Nordic Blue Loop and beat my time.
You need to go to Lake Geneva. Talk about swinging big.
Oh, I am in nowhere near that type of fitness, but this is the time of year to do it.
Yeah. I hate that uh-oh. I haven't had uh-ohs recently, but it really actually hurts. And then you realize it was somebody on a bike, or like somebody going down the ski hill on skis. And you're like, ugh.
These were real.
Yeah, they were real. Shoot.
Yeah. I'm gonna type in uh-oh into my email search bar. See what pops
You get
up.
email notifications from your Strava stuff still? I turn those off.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Ansel stole your course record.
Ansel, go home. Nobody likes you.
Beat my 9-mile loop by 52 seconds.
Oh, pretty close.
Here's another one. That's a local legend. That's fine. There goes another one. Sean got me. Here goes another one. Anthony got my course record.
Sean Anthony. No good. Those guys are no good.
Greg just stole my course record. Like, what was that, 5? I lost 5 course records in the last month.
Hey, don't cry because it's over, Brakken. Smile because it happened.
Neither. This is how you kick off a fall build.
Yeah.
With just pure fury and anger. Training off pure hate, Kirk.
So I think we've gotten our point across.
We had to by now, right?
I hate to be redundant. And if I'm going to walk you through the process, guys, let's just say if you want to do it ideally, maybe in 3 weeks from now, this week you choose something a little spicier and stingier to get in touch with, like some turnover. See where you're really at. Go run a couple hard mile repeats and see what happens. It's going to start getting you dialed. It's kind of what I did. Maybe do a workout or two that makes you sit in it just a little bit, right? Maybe you want to try a 5K, go do 2 by 1.5 mile repeats. See what that feels like and where it lands. Running hard, like at maybe goal 5K pace. Become familiar with the feeling, which is what I did in the previous week or two. And then try. But just, you could be 3 weeks away from just a little more spicy. Or like bookend workouts right now are the perfect middle ground. Like you could do a mile buy-in, some quarters, mile cash out. Or if you want to race further, like a half, 3 mile buy-in, couple mile repeats, 3 mile cash out. You could do a whole variation of the buy-in cash out, which I think is the perfect, like, let's just get myself to cover all my bases and take a crack at something in a couple of weeks. Like, that's my go-to. What about you? If I was like, let's rip something in the next 3 weeks, like what style of quality session would you start doing?
I'd probably alternate between those two. I'd do something short and interval base, and then I'd do a long buy-in, something that gets me past the point of comfort. Like before my 5K PR, I ran, I want to say 2 miles at 5K slightly slower pace, and then like 3 by 800 afterwards. Perfect. And then one time I did like 6 by mile at like 10 seconds per mile slower than 5K, 5 by mile maybe. But they were like that 2 mile at 5K pace, slightly 5 seconds per mile slower. That gets you to the point where you realize like, this is no fun. This hurts, but it stops before you're destroyed.
And it gives you an idea like, yeah, that was tough, but with like a gun to my head in quotes for like the day it matters, could I if I had to? You're going to have an idea if the answer is yes or no.
And I did mine on grass. So you always have that, like, I did it. I was a little slower, but I was on grass. I think you get me in different shoes on the pavement and it gives you a little bit of hope. But I think you got to go long enough to feel the way it starts to go. And then, like, this is attainable, or this pace is not okay.
Yeah, the tricky thing about it is if I said like go do, let's say you want to run a 5K, let's just use that for the example. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to go run 12 by 400 with 90 seconds rest.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about, because you're not going to feel what you need to feel on long rest and running notably faster than 5K in that workout. What we're talking about, I still feel like, is like that. Yes, that could be a sharpening session, but it shouldn't really be the needle mover for the week. There should still be something else in there that forces you to sit in it, because that's what racing and time trialing is. And when I used to do short intervals with rest to run fast, I wasn't running nearly as quick for 5Ks or duration because I just couldn't hold on to it. And that's important too. I was unfamiliar with what it really took to run the distance well.
I think you just got to feel it twice, or something longer intervals twice, and maybe do 1 or 2 shorter interval sessions just for like form.
Yeah.
But feel it, then go run it.
So I guess, okay, we got our point across. Do you have anything else on your radar? I don't have any races on my calendar until I'll start looking again this winter, but are you doing anything other than High Rocks in 7 weeks?
Not committing to anything past that. What I feel on that day, my intent is to work really, really hard. What I feel there is going to dictate what happens next.
What you feel emotionally or physically?
Physically. I think that I'm in a good rhythm right now. My working out has improved since my schedule got worse. Sometimes that just happens.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fix one part of your life, and everything else falls in line. So that's what's happened with me. I'm training most days and feeling pretty decent doing it. But race day, even in a mixed doubles, I'm going to be able to go hard enough that it's going to tell me exactly what would or wouldn't go right in other types of races. You're going to know by the end of that what could have happened if I had to do all the work myself, or if I tried to hold this type of run for, 2 miles rather than 1,000 meters at a time. So I think it'll tell me very clearly what needs to be addressed and where my fitness levels lie. And then I'll be able to decide what's a realistic timeline towards whatever I want to do next. And of course, I have races that are written down tentatively on calendars, but I'm not going to think about any of that until after Joyce and I run doubles.
Joyce, who we had on the podcast?
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Episode, I don't know, 300 something probably. Go back and listen.
No way.
Yeah, way.
300?
400 something?
Minimum, I'm going to say 480.
Okay, well, whatever.
Now I'm going to look it up.
I don't want to mislead people. All right.
I got to know now.
This is very important.
432. I was wrong.
Okay, well, I was wrong as well.
And in that, we're united.
Anything else we should have the people know? Did we cover our bases today?
Covered our bases.
I think it's just a kick in the pants, you guys. All I want to do is just kick you in the pants and say, go shake it up. Go do something. Go give yourself a chance to impress yourself or experience something that you haven't been able to take an honest crack at because summer. And a send off because the Great White North is eventually going to shut us all down, most likely for a few months. So use it while you got it. That's really all I care people remember from this.
We haven't promoted ourselves in a long time, and we started by promoting something on this podcast. So I'm going to close with it. If you get done with your time trial or this training season, and you're either aimless or unsure or excited about taking it to the next level next year, check out our online running public training plans on the runningpublic.com. It is a fantastic way to get through the off season. Also, this is the time of year to consider starting to work with a coach. A lot of people think it's not until I'm near a race that I really need coaching, and honestly, the earlier the better. You start setting up that ground floor of training to launch you to the next level of training. Off season's the time to start. So if you're looking for coaching, Kirk and I have you covered.
Yes, we both have a few spots open at the moment. And just speaking to our online plans, given everybody's budget is different, but $19.99 a month, I feel like is approachable. Even if you just hand pick or cherry pick, like, hey, I have a few sessions I like to do, but then I see a session that we prescribe that scratches your curiosity itch you want to hit. Like you can I prefer you follow it, but like you can cherry pick what looks good to you and what doesn't. We can't guarantee what results that will lead to, but I can guarantee it will at least make decisions for you some of the time. So if you like to train a certain way, but are curious, it's not like you have to go both feet in. You can sign up try some of the sessions, decide how many more of our sessions you want to do or not. I'm just saying, like, or screenshot them and cache them for future reference. Like,
Yep.
I'd love for you to follow it every week as it is, but like, there's many ways to skin the training plan cat. And it doesn't mean following it 100% from the rip and having to do everything we tell you. I would love it, but you don't have to.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. Go time trial.
Woo.